In today's episode, I thought it'd be really fun to just kind of let everybody know what we're doing this month. People keep asking, gosh, is the market going to go down? And we don't have the answer to that question. But I'll tell you what, we have found a lot of opportunities just over the last couple of months. And we're buying properties. We're adding to our portfolio. We're doing some exciting things. And so today we just want to talk about the success that we've had, some of the challenges maybe that we've had over the last month, and give you an idea of what our market has to offer. And there's a lot to talk about, Jared. Boy, we are busy. In fact, tomorrow will be kind of a historic day. We're actually going to be buying two properties. You're going to be buying a property tomorrow, and I'm going to be buying a property tomorrow. That sounds a little aggressive. We didn't plan that, but that's a first for us where we each get to take down a property in the same day.
Yeah.
But, some of you guys have been following along on our Highland horse property. And what an amazing project that was. We bought this property, I think it was the end of May. We let the owner, because he was a hoarder, have a couple of weeks to get everything out, and then we began a remodel on that. So what did you love about that horse property?
Well, I loved the home. I mean, especially the finished product was amazing. It was in a great location. It was on an acre and a half. Just such a hard to find property. It was an older property, but the floor plan on it was really, really workable.
Yeah, it was.
And so I appreciated it had some nice wide open spaces. And I think we learned some really good things there. But it was quite a top to bottom remodel.
It really was. I mean, this is a property that, first of all, you and I had been listing, coincidentally, we had been listing some horse properties there in Highland over the last year. So we've been watching values very, very carefully. And when this one came out, I thought it was just underlisted. It was actually listed by an agent out of Salt Lake. And I think she just really missed the boat. Of course, that created a frenzy of offers. I think there were somewhere around 8 to 10 offers. We had to get a little aggressive on that one in order to win the bid on that. But I liked that property because finding anything on an acre or more is so hard. We can still find the half acres and the 0.72s and once in a while an acre, but this was on an acre and a half. Coincidentally, this all coincided with Jared's interest in becoming a cowboy. Jared bought a horse this summer. So I think he almost considered maybe moving into this thing because it was such a nice house. But we saw the potential in this, not only in the floor plan, like you mentioned, but I have a real affection for 70s Ramblers, brick Ramblers in particular. They're just solid. So for us, it was a tank. It had really good bones, good floor plan. What are some of the challenges that we had with that? That was a full remodel.
Well, like a lot of people, you go into it thinking it's going to take 2 months to do or 3 months to do, and you have a certain budget in mind, and we blow past the 3 months, we blow past the budget. Yeah. And, sometimes when you get into a property, you don't realize the scope of the work that's going to need to be done. Yeah. And, of course, we've said this on the show before, we want to do a quality job. Yes. So we did things like, replacing the HVAC system, updating a lot of the electrical, a lot of the plumbing. We totally tore off the roof, replaced some of the decking. And so we kind of blew past the time on it and the budget on it. Yeah. We did get very busy during the summer with sales and with other investments, quite frankly. We had other projects we were doing simultaneously, so this one took us a little bit longer to do. Ultimately, we bought that for $450,000. We put it on the market, and of course, we had a great response.
Yeah.
It looked beautiful. Our marketing was so crisp and tight. We had the drone out, and we did some really nice aerial shots and flyovers. People loved it, and we very quickly put it under contract. We put it under contract for $590,000. Now, did we make a lot of money on this? We actually did okay. We came out about $30,000 on this property. Mm-hmm. Not a bad flip. It took a little longer than we talked about, so that's somewhat disappointing. But $30,000 on a flip, we'll do that all day long.
Well, it was a lot of fun for us. And I think we provided a really great service because, like you said, we had to do roof, AC, furnace, windows. I mean, some of the less sexy upgrades to make sure that that home was going to be great for a family or an end user. And then we got to dig into all the cosmetics, which is really fun, and that added a lot of value. So I loved that project. And of course, I love Highland. And to have a horse property, acre and a half, beautiful home, somebody got a good deal. I think they're really happy about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple other things on that too. We had a lot of money out on that property.
Whew. Yeah, we did.
Simultaneously, we'd bought those 2 fourplexes. We had, and then just before closing on that Highland property, we bought that Orem house. We're calling it the Scera house or the Orchard house. Sometimes we say that. We had well over $1 million out at that time. And that was a little bit stressful. And so we actually, in the month of October, basically cleared a lot of that out, but then we're right back into it.
Oh, we are.
Okay, with this Orem home, we paid cash for that. We're remodeling that, of course, with cash. Very capital-intensive project. Yeah. Give us an update on that.
Well, and you called it a remodel, and I'm going to take offense to that because it's really a restoration. That's what we're trying to do to this thing. I'm just kidding. Yeah. A restoration because we're trying to restore it. I mean, we pulled up the carpets. There's gorgeous hardwood floor. There's so much hardwood.
Well,
in
they're
that
gorgeous now that they've been refinished, but they were hammered.
They were hammered, and I'll tell you, I love hardwood floors. That's a lifetime product. Those were installed in 1941, and we had our guy come in there, and they look brand spanking new. They're just beautiful. We met with a company that paints cabinets. Now, to say that they paint cabinets probably isn't the right term. They do an extensive process. It's a lacquer coat. It's going to look amazing. But the cost on that to restore these cabinets is about halfway toward a new kitchen. And usually you and I would always make the decision, let's just go get a brand new kitchen in here. But I just couldn't do it. These cabinets are so great. They're so period. Mm-hmm. So we want to be very, very careful with that. We have tried to use existing vanities in the bathrooms. We've tried to use existing tile work. In fact, there's out of the 3 bathrooms, the tubs were looking really dingy. They had beautiful tile surrounds, but they were just old and looked dingy. So we just had the bathtubs and the surrounds recoated with an enamel finish. And they look brand new. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. We're salvaging as much as we possibly can so that we don't lose just the character of that home. Mm-hmm. We're really excited for this one because this is our first foray into having an Airbnb, a nightly rental. And so not only are we restoring it, but we're also going to furnish it, which has been a lot of fun. Yeah. So we've I have to tell you about the kitchen. You've got to see. I hope that you follow along on our Facebook page because we're trying to post some videos there. But the appliance package that we got for the kitchen, oh man, it is so nice. It just looks so great.
Yeah, so it's a pretty exciting project, and it's taking a lot of time. And Justin and I don't always agree on.
Rarely do we agree,
what
actually.
Materials to use, what colors to go with, and it causes some contention, but we generally work through that. Sometimes we bring in a tiebreaker.
Yes.
And which usually means me and this other person are ganging up on Justin and telling him that he's wrong. But actually, Justin has some great ideas, and oftentimes I do come around to his way of thinking. But that project has been pretty labor intensive on our part. There's so many decisions to be made, and we're just hunting high and low to try to find things that are going to fit
light
that
fixtures.
And so it's been an interesting one, and we're trying to do a really quality job, as we always do. But we're holding this one into our long-term portfolio, mm-hmm. and so we really are spending the money and the time on this one for sure.
Why don't you talk about the condo you just listed? And I just applaud you for the additional service, going the extra mile for a long-time client of ours.
Yeah, we have a client that we've managed a condo for many, many years. She's got some really challenging health issues right now, and she has decided to sell this condo. The condo, after 10 or 12 years or whatever it's been, at least that, probably more like 14 years, actually looked really good, but it had paint, different colors paint and that sort of thing in different rooms, and we've done some paint touch up, and you could tell where that had occurred, and And so I suggested, look, let's do a quick remodel on this. And she agreed. And we put in new paint, new flooring, new hardware on the doors, new hinges on the doors, new light fixtures, new kitchen countertops, a new microwave. So just did a really nice remodel. And I told her the price on that was going to be $72.50. That's what I had estimated out. And I did the numbers this morning, and we're at about $71.50.
Why can't you keep on budgeting
Like
on our projects?
$100, and I did that one in very quick.
Record time.
Like 10 days, and so and then we've got it on the market as of yesterday. So fortunately, we have some really great contractors to work with, and something like that. That's a pretty easy remodel. We can crank those out very quickly, but it's just something that we could have sold it as is, but she would have left some money on the table, and I wanted to make sure that to maximize her return by doing that investment, and hopefully for every dollar that we spend on that, maybe we get $1.25 back, so that she can make a little bit more money on that property.
Well, that was really nice of you, Jared. I thought that was going above and beyond, and that's what Jared and I do. We're very liberal with our time. We want to open up our contacts to people, get them the very best deal on quality materials, workmanship. I had an interesting situation. We have a good client of ours, repeat clients that are stepping up, and we put their townhome under contract, and the buyer backed out just before Thanksgiving. And meanwhile, I've got them under contract to purchase a new build down in Payson, and it's just the right home for them. I just think it's such a great property for them. And so I said, how can we make this work? And I presented the idea to them that since that buyer backed out, and if they can't sell this, they can't get their new home, I said, I'll buy that from you. And I'd say that we were very generous in our terms. We won't make very much money on that at all. But I'm bringing that to your attention if you're listening, that Jared and I are open to just about any deal. We're not looking to make a killing off of people in a distress situation. We really aren't. We're certainly a lot more fair than some of the wholesalers out there and some of the other people that are just trying to steal that from you. But I told her that we would buy that, close it simultaneously with the home that they want to purchase. And I'm closing tomorrow on that. We'll put it right back on the market. It's ready to go. I'll make a little bit of money, not much, but it opened up the route for them to continue on to purchase that property. So that's one of the properties that we're purchasing tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, we try to find properties in a variety of ways. I mean, obviously the MLS is a wonderful tool to find properties. You can still find some deals on there. Sometimes those deals are attached with problems, but we see problems as opportunities, and that's where our expertise lies, to be able to solve these problems and do it in profitable ways. We have kind of come across a wholesaler recently. We're on their mailing list, and we get properties all over the state, and some of them are just garbage. But a wholesaler is somebody who goes out there and is trying to help people maybe in their situation who need a quick sale, where the property might be in really rough shape. They don't want to pay real estate commissions, etc. There's a number of reasons why somebody might decide to sell to a wholesaler. Well, they happen to send me one that is in an area that we're very, very familiar with. And we've actually managed two properties on the very same street, and one currently and one in the past. And, we just happen to know the market value very, very well in that. And so Justin and I went and walked through it. We were there about 5 minutes, and we already, we made the decision in our heads to go ahead and buy that. Well, we submitted an offer to the wholesaler on that, and this was a property that I don't think they realized totally what the value of it was. So they actually ended up getting multiple bids on that property, and they went with another party. Well, that party fell through, and they called us, I think because we were probably the next best offer, but also because I did explain to them how familiar we are with that home and that neighborhood, and that meant a lot to them. I mean, they need people to close on properties. They can't tie these up with buyers that aren't going to perform. So we ended up signing an assignment agreement on that property. So, again, the wholesaler has an underlying real estate purchase contract with that seller. and then they are able to assign that to another a buyer, and so we're that other buyer in this case. So we're going to close on that tomorrow. Again, we put that contract into place yesterday, and we're closing already on it Friday. So from Wednesday to Friday, we've entered into this contract. We'll be wiring cash tomorrow. And on that one, yes, it could be a nice little light remodel on there, and we probably, we'd certainly would increase the sales price on that. But our strategy on that one right now, especially since we've got a lot of time and resources tied up in another project, we're going to put that back on the market. It's not back on the market. It's never been on the multiple listing service or on the open market. We're going to put that on the market on Monday or Tuesday and see if we can just get that resold. And I think we will, because I think it's a nice product at a price it's going to be attractive to people.
Yeah.
So we're looking at properties and opportunities from a lot of different sources, and we just happened to find two this week that we have the ability to close on. So we're kind of back in the situation where we've got close to $1 million out right now, which but that's the beauty of it. I mean, if you've got some cash and some ability to pull some financing together, or you've got some cash partners, you can take advantage of deals that come your way.
Yeah. Well, we're looking for deals. If anybody out there knows of a good flip, if anybody out there knows of a party that's really distressed, and maybe we can help them out. And again, I just want to stress how that's just our nature, is to be as fair as possible with people and create a really great situation. If you are thinking about listing your property and you need a little help tuning it up, give us a call. Let's consult with you to do the right things. And then I want you to just stay tuned with us. We'll provide these updates from time to time, what we're doing in our own personal portfolio, because, again, we want to walk the walk, not just talk the talk on this podcast. And you'll see us out there doing deals. And sometimes we'll feel comfortable sharing the numbers, and sometimes we might not. But we're pretty open, and we're here to help you out any way that we can. But keep your eyes out for us. We'd love another deal.